Hey everyone, hope you had a great day. Let's get into it. Today is Thursday. Markets are up, Bitcoin's up, everything's doing well. So as always, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, see how it's doing on the daily chart and the 1 hour chart. And we're going to take a look at Ethereum as well. We're also going to take a look at the miners, see how they did today. Miners were up for the most part. There was, I think, one or two that were down. We'll take a look at those guys. We also have a story on Bitfarms. Bitfarms has completed their phase 2 of one of their data centers. So we'll take a look at that, what that actually means. We'll also take a look at Foundry logistics. So Foundry is putting out a new service that's going to help, hopefully, the miners out, getting the miners faster. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at some earnings from Apple and Amazon really quick. We're not going to go a deep dive into them, just kind of giving you my thoughts on it. And then we're also going to take a look at Stronghold and Core Scientific. They're going to be reporting their Q2 in August of 11th. We're just going to point that out to you guys, and that's it for that. As always, you guys know the drill here. I'm invested in the following coins and companies, not financial advice. As always, do your own research. You know the drill here. Let's take a look at Bitcoin really quick, and we'll get into the miners as well. So Bitcoin is obviously up quite nicely today. It is now battling with the resistance support at 23,800 roughly, the blue line up here. We've had a nice rally here, obviously, ever since yesterday, ever since the Fed came out with the 75 basis points increase. You can see it here with this nice, huge jump in price. We got above the 200 weekly moving average, which was great. And we have been battling with it. We did dip below it here, but we bounced obviously off of that while the RSI has been going down, which is a really good sign. This is something we really want to see, is obviously price going up, RSI going down, and that's exactly what we're getting here. So it looks like we're still possibly going to be going higher, but right now we are battling with that resistance support at 23,800. If we look at it on the daily, you can see here, it is textbook on how well that actually was marked here, the 23,800. So we'll have to see going forward how well that's going to progress. Obviously, our size isn't looking too bad on the daily right now. It is looking a little bit oversold on the 1 hour, but I think with the price going up and our site continuing to go down, I think we're okay for at least a little while longer. But we may see a little bit of a pullback here, hopefully not tomorrow, but we'll see. Those are just kind of my thoughts on that one. Ethereum. So obviously Bitcoin's up today 3.85%. Ethereum is up 5.83%, 5.82%. And it is obviously doing the same thing here as Bitcoin is, but going up a little bit higher in value. And you can see here on the RSI was way up since yesterday, but it has fallen down while the price was steady or going up a little bit. And then RSI continued to fall down while price has continued to go up, which is a good sign. So we may have some possibly shorts covering a little bit. Not only in the Bitcoin and Ethereum markets, but also in the stock markets, with markets doing pretty well today as well. So let's take a look at the miners here really quick, and then we'll get into the news stories. So first one out of the gate is Annie, as always. Annie was actually up today 2.23% on the day to 67 cents. Argo was up 9.77% to 47 cents, which was really good. And BitDigital was basically flat on the day, looks like. $1.52 for them. Bitfarms was up 6.52% to $1.47. CleanSpark was up 3.19% to $4.20. Core Scientific was up 7.5% today to $2.15. DigiHost was down actually 3.05% to $1.27. DMG was up 12.18% to 28 cents, so they had a nice day today. And High Blockchain was up 6.39% to $4.16. While Hut 8 was up 7.96% to $2.17. Iris Energy was up barely, just 0.25% to $3.87. Luxfolio was actually up today 4.11% to 10 cents, 10.9 cents. Marathon was up nicely again today, 7.14% to $13.20. If we look at Marathon, it has done really well here in the last month. It is up over 100%. Look at 3 months, it is still down in the 3 months, 21% roughly. Marathon, and then we got Mawson was up nicely as well today to 12.85% to 84, almost 85 cents on the day. And Rye Blockchain was up 3.5% to $7.40. And Stronghold was down 5.38% to $2.46. And that should be the last of the miners. It is. All right, so let's take a look at the stories that we have here, and we'll get into everything here. I'll try to make it relatively quick and easy and painless. So Bitfarms completes phase 2 at its bunker location. And I forgot to mark it up here. I did it on my other computer. So obviously Marathon. Bitfarms completed the second phase of its expansion of its bunker providing an additional 18 megawatts, which is good, of capacity and boosting the company's corporate hash rate by 200 petahash per second to a total of 3.8 exahash per second. This brings Bitfarms' current production above 16 Bitcoin per day, which is really good, which is what we want to see. We want to see that continued growth. Completing phase 2 of the bunker expansion is a strategic milestone that contributed to the growing of our hash rate to 3.8 exahash per second, up 5.5% from the beginning of July. Said Geoff, president and CEO of Bitfarms, together with an additional 3 megawatts of low-cost hydropower that went online this month at our mining facility in Washington State, our total operating capacity is now 158 megawatts. Significantly, with our higher hash rate came an increase in our current production to 16.8 BTC per day, a 15% increase from 14.6. So obviously a nice increase there. And this past week, they have selectively been redeploying some of the mining assets while continuing to bring new miners online. So this is obviously good as well. Would have been nice to have, if they would have provided actually which miners they installed or brought back online. Coupled with slight delays in receiving new mining shipments, the net effect is we expect to experience a more gradual increase in our hash rate and reach our 4 exahash goal in early August. So we're almost in August now. July is pretty much ending here. We got a couple of days left on it. And that's going to get them up to another 200 petahash basically sometime in August, since they're at 3.8 right now. In addition, we remain confident in executing our current international growth plan and achieving 6 exahash by the year end, added Murphy. So they got 2 exahash to go. We got about, what do we got now? August, September, October, November, December. We got 5 months. So they have to basically install 2 exahash. What is that going to be? Basically 200 petahash per month in the next 5 months in order to get to 6 exahash right now. And this just continues on here. Bunker phase 2 expansion, mine installation, completion, and to date, 9,450 miners have been installed. Together with phase 1, which first became operational in March 2022, this location is presently operating at 36 megawatts and yielding 848 petahashes, which is pretty good. Phase 3 of the bunker build-out, representing an additional 12 megawatts, is underway. This phase is planned to hold another 3,250 miners and produce approximately 325 petahash, with completion expected later this year. So all good news there. Great job by Bitfarms getting that done and installed and growing their hash rate, which is obviously what we want to see here. We want to see continued hash rate growth in these companies. Something that's also kind of pertinent to this is, how they're expecting the miners to come in slower. Well, this kind of fits perfectly with this next story that we got here from Foundry. So Foundry starts new service to reduce supply chain lag for Bitcoin miners. This is obviously a huge problem for a lot of the miners. This is something that when we were starting out our mining farm, this is something that we ran into as well. But we're not getting thousands of miners. We're getting we got 220 of the S9s. We got some of the D3s, about 240 of the D3s, and some of the L3s back in 2017, 2018. And even then, that was, it took a while to get those in. So I understand the pain that can be felt by this, especially, and we'll get into it a little bit here. So digital asset mining and staking firm Foundry is starting a new supply chain management service designed to make delivery of Bitcoin mining computers more efficient as the industry is gripped with logistical issues. And that is an absolute fact. These guys that I cover here have a lot of miners that are on order. A lot of them have been delayed. So it is obviously a pain for them. The new service, Foundry Logistics, is a dedicated supply chain management service that is able to cut down total transit time for shipments significantly, as well as add visibility to various expense related to shipments. That is also crucial there, so you know what you're paying for the shipment, but you also have customs that you got to deal with, everything else. If they can provide an all-in-one solution for that, I think that'd be a great service. Such services will not just lower the transit time, but also make internal accounting much easier, Satya added. So Satya is the Vice President of Infrastructure at Foundry. Through worldwide offices and a network of dedicated on-the-ground contacts for every order, Foundry Logistics ensures cost-effective and streamlined deliveries, providing clients with customs clearance, insurance guidance, ocean shipment solutions, national warehouse solutions, and other domestic surface logistics, right? So those are all in that supply chain part of it that is also a pain for some of these miners to go and deal with. The good part here is in recent years, supply chain issues have been plaguing industry across the globe, and Bitcoin mining is no different, right? So it's not a really good thing, but they're talking about here, due to the capital intensive nature of mining industry, miners can't afford to have delays in mining rigs because they mean extra costs. So I'll provide you guys a little bit of an example here. So back in 2017, 2018, when a friend of mine asked me to help out build out his farm, he ordered the D3s, which were mining Dash at that time. In the beginning, as I think the N miner D3 was one of the first miners that was ASIC for D3. So in the beginning, when you ordered them, and then if you got one of the first batches, you were making like $215 a day per miner. We ordered them right when they pretty much came out. We didn't get them pretty much towards the end where they were making $5 a day. So it's a huge decrease from when you ordered them and when you could have gotten them, right, to when we actually got them. And it was just those D3 miners were horrific. They kept breaking. Not only did they keep breaking, but they also kept, revenues kept falling down relatively quickly. I think N-Miner at that time just put out way too many miners, and it just saturated the market, drove the difficulty way up. So the guys that got it towards the end were pretty much out of a lot of money that was spent on those. So that's one of the things that we've learned is try to get the miners in as fast as you can, and don't go into on miners that are brand new for a coin. You're more likely going to get trashed on those. So that's something that we've learned doing a small Bitcoin mining farm that we do have still. It's right now it's shut down because the S9 miners aren't making anything for us, so they're shut down. The only thing we have now is just the GPU miners. So lesson learned there. Continuing on here, so transit time and efficiency are a great significance in the cryptocurrency mining industry, where machines profitability is dependent on a wide variety of factors such as the Bitcoin price and the network's mining difficulty. And this is not for Bitcoins, for obviously all the other coins. This makes the timely delivery of ordered hardware critical to the operations of mining companies. It is absolutely true. A lot of the guys that ordered the machines last year and aren't getting them until this year, obviously it would have been great for them to get them last year where the price was a lot higher. You could have recouped your investment a lot faster that way. But obviously there's also production issues and everything else that's in the industry, and they can't squeeze out 500,000 of these machines in a single month so that everybody can get them. But even though I think it was a lot more that was ordered, that probably close to 1 million plus of those machines. So it takes a while to get those machines built. Obviously the chips made for them, everything else, the components, and you obviously get put into a queue, when your orders came in, when the machines go out. And that's it. So I think this is actually pretty good. Anybody that does get into it with Foundry, I think might have some advantages here a little bit, but we'll have to see if anybody does use it as far as the miners that we cover here. But we'll have to see. So I thought this was actually good. All right, so let's take a look at Apple really quick and Amazon as well. I think this is going to possibly drive the NASDAQ a little bit higher in the next couple of days here. People are possibly going to be covering a little bit their short positions on some of the stocks, and it's obviously going to possibly help out Bitcoin as well. So Apple, obviously one of the big dogs here in NASDAQ, reported revenue of 83 million versus 82.7 million was expected. So a nice little beat there by about 300 million. Earnings per share was $1.20 versus $1.16, so that's 4 cents more. iPhone revenue was 40.7 billion versus 38.9 billion, so that was a nice beat there as well. iPad revenue was also a beat of 7.22 billion versus 6.9 billion expected, and Mac revenue was down 7.4 from 8.4 expected, so about $1 billion less in that. Wearables revenue was also down a little bit, 8.1 billion versus 8.8, and services revenue was down just slightly from 19.6 billion versus 19.7 expected. So wide beats here. Obviously the main important things are revenue, earnings per share was up, and then obviously iPhone is still the big money producer for them with 40.7 billion, followed by, what's the next category? Probably services, it looks like, is 19.6 billion. So this is obviously going to help the market out along with Amazon. Amazon had pretty good numbers here, and we're getting these commercials. So revenue for Amazon was 121.2 billion versus 119.53 billion expected. The only bad thing was obviously earnings per share was a negative 20 cents versus a 52 cents plus expected. So that was a down one there. But Amazon Web Services was 19.74 billion versus 19.4 billion. So obviously that is contributing to the stock going up right now. Let's see if we can see it here. Amazon is up 1.08%, and I don't have Apple here, but they're up. So here's a quick quote from them. Why does this keep pumping up? The e-commerce giant also reported better than expected guidance for next quarter, which is also helping this drive the stock up a little bit. Next quarter of 125 billion to 130 billion versus 126.5 billion. So despite the continued inflationary pressures in fuel, energy, and transportation costs, we're making progress on the more controllable costs we referenced last quarter, particularly improving the productivity of our fulfillment network. Andy Jass, Amazon CEO, said in a statement following earnings, which is good. Obviously, they have a lot of fulfillment centers. If they can, just increase the productivity there a little bit, that's obviously going to reflect down in the bottom line of their operations. So obviously, great numbers for the most part by Amazon and Apple. And finally, we have Stronghold is going to be reporting their Q2 in August 11th at 5 p.m. They're going to have a conference call after the close of the market, and so is Core Scientific. They're going to have it on the same day, it looks like. But they will have theirs a little bit earlier at 3:30 p.m. instead of 5 p.m. Eastern time. So that's it. Obviously, a great day for Bitcoin, for the miners for the most part. We got some good news from the markets as well. We did get a second quarter of negative GDP growth. Some are saying that that's a sign basically for a recession. Some are saying that you need that plus other factors such as wages, hires, workers' right, employment basically, and some other things to see a decline in those as well. And then that would be more in line with a recession. So we'll see. We'll have to see, obviously. We know that employment is still hard to find employees. So it's a tight market right now. So we'll have to see how this all plays out. But we do know that the CPI data is going to be coming out in August, in about a week or two from now for July. We'll have to see if that's coming down actually. Gas prices have come down a little bit. So we'll see how that's going to affect everything. But the only thing is possibly, I think, rents. I've heard some people say rents might be going up, which is a lagging indicator. So we'll see if that has any effect on our offsets, any savings that we had from gas. So we'll see. We'll have to see if we come down from 9.1 CPI like we did in July. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. Hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's obviously the end of the week, and I think the end of the month as well, or we're really close to it for that. So then we'll get some new miner information next week from some of the miners. So it'll be a fun week next week. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.